Good morning, everyone. Today is October 25th. My name is Mighty Stream. I'm brought to you by Hope Through Navigation, and this is our Hood Recovery Services. I'm going to do your spiritual principle a day in a meditation. Let's go ahead and get into that screen. I wish I could say it was my first or second or third try to take this today, but it's not. October 25th, Cultivating Curiosity. We keep learning and growing, finding ways to live and to use our experience to help others. No matter how long we have been clean, there's still more of us to learn, more for us to learn, and more for us to share. Living Clean, Chapter 7, Love. Active addiction shrinks our worlds, and our curiosity often withers from inactivity. For many of us, that first exposure to NA wakes up a dormant sense of wonder. We may be somewhat puzzled by what we observe at our first encounters with the fellowship, but we find it pretty compelling. As one member put it, looking back now, I could tell that you all had experienced the agony of addiction and then found, a way to live clean and still be yourselves. Curiosity about how NA makes that possible is one of the factors that keeps us coming back. Without the constant numbing of drug use, our curiosity is reinvigorated. It may seem like a minor player given all the changes we experience, especially early on, but it's also a consistent, reverberating background to our awakening. In retrospect, we can see how that curiosity nudged us onto this new road of discovery. As we make our way down this road again and again, curiosity helps us find the necessary courage to ask for help and learn from others. The NA message starts with abstinence and ends with find a new way to live. The meaning of this final phrase evolves just as we do. It applies to every stage of our growth and change as we place one foot in front of the other on the path of recovery. We get older, yes, and that beats the alternative. We meet each phase of life head on, curious to see where our journey will take us and how our assets and abilities can lead us to serve in new ways. Even as she was dying, she was teaching us how to live. One member shared about her beloved sponsor. The road narrows as we become less inclined to follow the dead ends of our old escape mechanisms. But a leaner road opens up to a world of genuinely nourishing practices and healthy connections. We follow our curiosity along interesting back streets, and we're set free to find a new way of life that finds our current chapter. I will cultivate a curious and open mindset and keep on discovering what I need to navigate each phase of this new way of life. Interesting meditation, talking about cultivating curiosity and how, even though many people might downplay the spiritual principle of curiosity, and of course, that comes from the old cliche, curiosity kills a cat, right? So, curiosity, it has not always been a concept that people are drawn to. Let's just say that. Curiosity, a lot of times, is synonymous with nosy, a busybody, a person that asks questions only for the purpose of antagonizing a person. I had a sponsee like that. She would ask the strangest questions and they never seemed to be genuine. And I think that she would sit there just asking the questions, trying to see how I would phrase it or respond, and then turn around in another day or two, come back to the same questions. So sometimes curiosity, there's a false sense of humility, a false sense of curiosity. that a person can display. Like they're really not interested in the answer as much as your reaction to them. Okay, but this is not talking about that. This is talking about how curiosity was actually the concept that led us to coming back to another meeting. What is this all about? What is going on with this group of individuals that they seem so excited about recovery, not just for themselves, not using drugs, not just for themselves, but for an hour and a half or 2 hours, they actually seem to be enjoying discussing recovery. They have a system or a format that they're using. It's almost like a business that is being run, but no one here is acknowledging what business it is. It's the business of recovery. And so the curiosity is stirred up initially. And it is one of the reasons why we keep coming back. And maybe you did get a nudge from a judge, but a lot of times after that nudge was over, you didn't have to continue to come, but you did. You might have left, but you made your way back, or you would not be listening to this meditation, right? So we have to, give kudos to this spiritual principle of curiosity that they're talking about today. And just remember that on the road of recovery, we want to keep it alive. We want to keep it exciting. We want to remain curious. We want to not just look at a problem situation that we have and turn and walk away from it, but be curious about why is it that I feel this way about this particular situation? And sit down with our sponsors and have discussions about those intimate feelings that we're having that maybe we're not going to share in the rooms at the tables, so that we have more self-discovery. And not only that, we can find sometimes that there are strategies that we can use in given situations. One strategy I learned in the last couple years, I haven't had to use it, and this was an individual sharing on the virtual in a meeting format, right, on Zoom. And they were saying that their sponsor taught them initially when they were first getting clean, if they were hung up in a situation with someone and they didn't know how to get themselves out, all they needed to do was look at their watch. Just turn your wrist over and look at it and said, I don't know where the time went. I am so sorry. I have somewhere else I need to be. It was good to see you. And let them say goodbye and take off. Like just walk away. Because you don't owe the disease of addiction any more time than you've already given it. And you don't owe it to people to stand there and allow them to try to manipulate you into what they need and get you backed up into a corner that you cannot get out of clean. And so when it talks, this meditation is talking about some of the interesting back streets and navigating right through different roads to get to our new way of life. Sometimes it's just talking about strategies that we might have to use so that we can get around those treacherous grounds that we're used to treading upon and falling on all the time. But now today we don't need to do that. Our eyes are open. We're not high anymore. We're not experiencing the numbing effect of drug use anymore. We are conscientious today. And so I hope that you've enjoyed this meditation. It was extremely difficult. That was my fourth take. And even though I made some mistakes, I absolutely refuse to retape this. It was very wordy, I would say, not grammatically sound, to say the least. But it still has value. Even for me, struggling with it, there's still value in it. And that's what we need to do. We need to apply that spiritual principle of open-mindedness to this meditation and really look at our level of curiosity, not in a negative sense, not like that sponsee that is just giving me questions after questions that just, giggling sessions after I answer questions. And then it occurs to me that she's not even serious about listening to the answers. She's just serious and trying to monitor how I respond spiritually to what she's saying or asking. It's not a joke. Our lives are it's not a joke anymore. This is real, very, very real stuff. Children's lives, our families' lives, our homes, all the hard work that we've accomplished during the time that we've been in recovery, all of it is at stake. Don't ever get to a plateau and think that you're doing just fine. There's always more that we can be curious about and learn. And so I just leave you with that today. I will be talking to you tomorrow. Please have a beautiful day on purpose. I intend to. Take care.